Hey YouTubers, this is your pal EMDSD14R, and let's see, I'm not sure exactly what this video should be called. Um, I was going to call it ER&W Roster Part 3, but I think the best title for this video should be called Juicers. So basically, juicers are what they are. They're electric locomotives. Um, Of course, I do have Amtrak locomotives over here to the right, but over here I have ER&W electrics to the left. So we'll just call this video Juicers, okay? Yeah. So let's get started. So these are my Amtrak E60CP or E60CH units. The 971 and 974, they're the Bachmann ones with DCC. The center one is my American GK unit. So the difference between the Bachmann units and the American GKs are, well, if you look here, so let me just, they're evened up here. If you look at the back here, the Bachmann model, which is to your right, is that much shorter than the American GK, which is to your left. Obviously, different roof details, but other than that, and the length, other than that, they're the Bachmann model's pretty close. I am going to change the pantographs on the Bachmann models because they aren't, yeah, they're not good. So I was going to put Sommerfeld pantographs, or somebody said get the Walthers, I think it's the Walthers Cafe pantographs, I think it's the Cafe ones. Yeah. I think, yeah, if they still have them, and just use them on these models. But I was going to get Sommerfeld pantographs. The unique thing about this American GK is it's powered by a Buell motor. So basically, Buell motors are, it's Buhler, Buer. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's a German company, but the motors are, I think athearn Genesis motors are based off of those motors, or the other way around, and they're based off of Ryco motors. I'm thinking that's what the story is, because I remember one of my associates at Nicholas Smith Trains telling me about it a couple years ago, but my memory's a little bit foggy about that. But anyway, I've been detailing the 972. This was one of my miscellaneous projects that I never got around to, but with everything going on, you know, might as well get these projects done. So I decaled it, installed the glass, the horns, a good number of the pantograph details, like the resistors, the vacuum pump, and the I forget what that's called, but I stopped because I'm not sure exactly how the rest of it's supposed to go. I bought out the Bachmann models as like a visual reference, and the parts that I have with the American GK are not really matching up, so I basically just decided not to finish that at this time. The advantage with the American GK units is that they are way heavier than the Bachmann units. So with the Bachmanns here, if you wanted to pull a 10 or 12 car train, you actually need two of the Bachmann units to pull a 12 car train. Whereas with the American GK, one engine is sufficient to pull a 14 to 16 car train, which is prototypically accurate, by the way. And I do have videos of this particular electric without the details on it pulling a 12 or 14 car train at speed. So if you guys can get your hands on one of these, I highly recommend getting them because they are very hard to find. Walthers bought out American GK. Yeah, but they pretty much use the same molds and everything, and they have athearn type drives in them, so that's a cool thing. Let me just show you the underside. And mine is repowered with newer athearn drive shafts and the Buell motor, and I did mount the KD couplers and all that. And then just for a reference, I'll show you what the underside of the uh, Bachmann ones. Now these Bachmann ones I forgot to mention are from the first run of the Bachmann E60s with DCC. This is when I got these when they first came out. My dad actually got these for me at a train show many years ago, and I've had them ever since. So I like them. They're really good. They actually run better now. Before they were terrible, but now they run good together. So yeah, I usually just pair them up because they can't even pull a 6-car consist of the Bachmann AM fleets without struggling. So you just have to double them up. Now, if it's the Walthers mainline ready to roll passenger cars, you can use one of these single-handedly because they are heavy enough and the cars are free rolling anyway. So yeah. All right, moving on. These are the E60 CFs. Now, these are based off of the Black Mesa and Lake Powell Railroad E60C2s. Or E60C's, I should say. E60C's with the single cab. American GK got their hands on drawings of a second generation of these electrics and actually made these units here, which is what the production line units would have looked like if they were actually built and made for the Black Mesa and Lake Powell Railroad. If you're looking at these, yeah, these are based off of real drawings, but they're fantasy engines. These ride on the athearn SD7, SD9 chassis, which are flipped around because they had to fit the motor in here. So if they didn't flip it around, it wouldn't fit in here. So you can clearly see that, and they ride on GE trucks. What started it for me with these engines was these two here. I think it was when I was 19 or 20 years old. I purposely joined this one forum just so I could get my hands on these two. These were sold to me as a pair for a really good price, by the way. And this is what started it for me with the American GKs. These are my oldest American GKs in my collection. And they run great. This is the Conrail one. The Conrail one is actually a later version of the E60 CF because all the other ones, if you're looking, don't have that one particular roof detail here. So that's the only difference. I did upgrade this one with a Feverly Schummerfeld pantograph, which I prefer these pantographs because they're high quality and they are fully functional. Not just in the sense that they operate with the springs, but they can actually collect real power. So that's why I chose them. I had to redo the detail work on this one and obviously this one. So here's the Penn Central unit. I got this one years after, I don't know when, but it didn't come with the pantographs or the window glazing or anything. The decals that I got came actually from the decal sheet with this engine. When American GK gave you numbers, they gave you numbers for all the E60s. So like the E60C2 or the E60CH's, CP's, and the E60 CF's. They gave you a number sheet that had them all on there. So that's where I got the numbers for this one because it didn't have any. This one is an undecorated engine. They actually did come with these side shields here. I'm still up in the air as to what I'm going to paint this. Some people years ago said they wanted to see one in Norfolk Southern paint. I think it would look really cool if there was an NS version. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. If I do, you guys will see it painted in Norfolk Southern, but I haven't decided that yet. And it will be numbered after these two here. This one is an oddball because it's not even numbered in these, but it's also in the New Haven McGinnis colors. This is a custom painted one. They actually did make the New Haven units, but they're all black with just New Haven lettering on the side. This one was custom painted in the McGinnis colors, and a friend of mine on Facebook sold this to me a couple years ago, and I bought it because it's in the McGinnis colors, and it's really cool. It's a completely professional custom paint job, and they numbered it and everything. I had to do some work on here because whatever glue was used warped this section of the shell, so I had to cut it out and actually place styrene on it, or in its place. I will be fixing that, obviously. I do have another E60 on the way. It's number 4500. It is also Penn Central. It's actually E60CH, but I'm going to be leaving it in the, it's going to be technically a CHF because it's going to be converted to freight since it's in the 4500 series. Yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to share this collection with you guys. I do actually have future plans to install sound and DCC in these electrics here. I had ideas about making a 3D printed chassis for this here. Obviously, it would be metal, but it would be designed to accept the Atlas Dash 8 trucks and motor, just so I would have a smoother drive. I don't know if I could find anyone to actually do that for me. That would be just a project in itself right there. But I could probably just use what I have here because it's already been grounded and everything. It's got the pretty much a Genesis motor in there, so I don't need to worry about that. These, I have an idea as to what chassis I can use, and it's an Atlas chassis. I will try to do an experimentation with one in the near future if I can find a spare Atlas unit of that class, because those are pretty hard to find now. Yeah, these are my juicers, guys. I've always been a big fan of the E60 locomotives and the various types, and I just wanted to share this with you guys. So you guys be cool, stay safe, God bless. Peace, y'all.